Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we are going to discuss about an illustration which is based on capitalization of average profits. In the previous video, we understood the theory aspect of this method of calculating goodwill. So let us look at this illustration. From the following information, ascertain the value of goodwill of G Company Limited according to capitalization method under both net assets and actual capital employed approaches. So, the calculation of goodwill under capitalization of average profits has two approaches. One is the net assets approach, and the other one is actual capital employed approach, or otherwise known as liability approach. So this is the balance sheet. We have shareholders fund, share capital, reserves and surplus. We have working note. Share capital only has equity shares. Under reserves and surplus, we have P&L appropriation account balance. Then we have current liabilities, bank overdraft, sundry creditors, and provision for income tax. Then moving on to assets, we have non-current assets. Under non-current assets, we have tangible and intangible. Intangible asset, there is only one, which is goodwill. Tangible assets, there are it is under note number 3. There are two assets. One is land and building, and other one is plant and machinery. Then we have current assets, which is stock in trade and sundry debtors. Let us move on. The company commenced its operation in the year 2011 with a paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh, as mentioned above in the note 1. The profits earned before providing for income tax have been as under: in 2012 15,000, 2013 20,000, 2014 15,000, and 2015 30,000. So these are the profits that are before income tax. These are called PBT, it is profit before tax. The income tax at the rate of 30% is payable on the profits for of the above years. So for the above years, the tax rate is 30%. The dividends have been distributed from the above years at an average rate of 10%, which is treated as reasonable return expected on the capital invested in the business. See this, you'll have to read and understand the problem. The last sentence says that it is a reasonable return which is expected on capital invested in the business. That means this is the normal rate of return that is existing within the society, within the industry. I mean, that means this is what is expected. So 10% becomes your NRR. Okay, because that is the normal rate of return. So these are the details that we have in the illustration. Now we will have to find out goodwill, firstly using net assets approach, and then we will find out value of goodwill using actual capital employed approach, or also known as liability approach. The formula for capitalized value of business, why do we need to calculate capitalized value of business? Because it is needed for calculation of goodwill. Goodwill is found out by subtracting capitalized value of business with net tangible assets. So that is why we will first find out capitalized value of business, and then we will find out net tangible assets. All right. So step 1 is calculation of capitalized value of business. The formula is capitalized value of business is equals to FMP, which is future maintainable profits. This is nothing but average adjusted profits. FMP is nothing but average adjusted profit. Okay. Multiplied by 100 divided by NRR, which is normal rate of return. In this case, we already understood that the normal rate of return is 10%. See, I have mentioned it here, 10%. So how do we calculate future maintainable profits? See, in this formula, FMP, we don't know what it is. NRR, we know it is 10%. So now we'll have to find out FMP, which is future maintainable profits. I have drawn a table here, particulars, and I have mentioned all the years. There are two techniques to find out future maintainable profits. I'll tell you why and how there are two techniques. First technique that we have here is this, where we mention the profits. Future maintainable profits means, guys, profits after making necessary adjustments of the expenses that are going to arise in the near future, or after charging income tax. Okay, so let us take the profits For 2012 it is 15,000. For 2013 it is 20,000. For 2014 it is 15,000, and for 2015 it is 30,000. Now there are no adjustments given in the problem. There is only one adjustment, that we will have to charge income tax. Okay, so let us charge income tax. Sorry about the disturbance in the background. Please don't mind. So we have to charge income tax on all the years at 30%. Okay. See this sentence here. The income tax at the rate of 30% is payable on the profits of the above years. Payable means it is not charged. We will have to pay it. So we'll calculate 30% of 15,000, and we will use the same formula everywhere. Let us see if the same formula has been copied. C11, D11, 11. Okay. So we have calculated income tax. Now we will calculate future maintainable profit of each year. That is profits minus income tax. See this. FMP for 2012 is 10,500, which is 15,000 minus 4,500. FMP for 2013 is 20,000 minus 6,000, which is 14,000. For 2014 it is again 10,500, and for 2015 it is 21,000. So the total future maintainable profits is this. That is, I'm calculating average, guys. So I'm taking sum of all 4 years divided by 4. Okay. So we get that as 14,000 rupees. I hope you guys have understood it. What we are doing is we are calculating the average of all 4 years after adjusting it. It, like I told you, FMP is nothing but average adjusted profit. All these are adjusted profits individually, and the average adjusted profit will be average of all 4 years. Now if you see, they are not in ascending or descending order, so we have done using simple average method. So we have added all 4 and divided by 4. Okay. Or the other technique is, since income tax will be charged on all 4 years at 30% itself, we can first find out the average profit and then charge income tax at 30%. So how do we find out average profit? Average profit will be 15,000 plus 20,000 plus 15,000 plus 30,000 divided by 4, 20,000, and now we will charge income tax at 30%. So the FMP will be average profits minus income tax. See, we get 14,000. You can use any one of these methods that you feel you will be able to understand and solve in the exams easily. Alright. Now that we have found out the FMP, that is future maintainable profits, otherwise known as average adjusted profit, we will calculate the value of capitalized value of business. That is nothing but FMP into 100 divided by NRR. NRR is how much, guys? 10%. So divided by 10. So the capitalized value of business is 1,40,000. That means we take the profit and then we capitalize it. We try to find out how much capital do we need to attain this profit. So if you take the normal rate of return, that is, if you invest a certain amount, if you are getting 10% back, if you invest 14,000, how much do you need to, if you earn 14,000 as profit, how much do you actually invest? That is what we have done here. We have found out the capitalized value of the business, and that has come up to 1,40,000. Okay. Moving on to the next step, which is calculation of net tangible assets. The formula for net tangible assets is all the tangible assets, total tangible assets minus outside liabilities. So now we'll have to look at the balance sheet for that on the asset side. See, tangible fixed assets, we have working note. So we'll go to working note number 3. So the first one is land and building. The amount is 45,000. Then we have plant and machinery. Amount is 40,000. Okay, we are done with note number 3. The next is intangible fixed assets. We are not supposed to take intangible fixed assets. We are supposed to take all the tangible assets. Next we have inventories. 37,500. And then we have trade receivables. Trade receivables are debtors, so 22,500. Here you can either write trade receivables or debtors, and in case of inventories, you can either write inventories or stock in trade. Anything will do. The total of this we'll have to find out. Guys, if there is disturbance in the background, I request you all to please adjust with it. I hope you guys will cooperate. Okay, so from the total tangible assets of 1,45,000, we are going to subtract the outside liabilities alone. What are outside liabilities, guys? Anything apart from shareholders fund is outside liabilities. So the shareholders fund comprises of note number 1 and note number 2. Apart from these two, in case of this problem, everything else will come under outside liabilities. This rule applies anytime when you're trying to calculate outside liabilities. Put this in your mind, okay? Outside liabilities is nothing but total liabilities minus your shareholders fund. So in this case, what are we going to do? We are going to consider everything that is mentioned under current liabilities. First is short-term borrowings, which is bank overdraft. Like I told you guys, you can take either of the particulars. You can either write bank overdraft or you can write short-term borrowings. Both of them will do. It will not be a mistake if you write short-term borrowings. Okay. Next is sundry creditors, 10,000. And next is provision for income tax. You will write it fully income tax. There was no space, so I have written I dot tax. Okay, 5,000. We'll find out the total. We got it as 30,000. So the value of net tangible assets is total of A minus total of B. That is total of tangible assets minus the total of outside liabilities. So the net tangible assets value that we got is 1,15,000 rupees. Now what we'll do is we'll find out the value of goodwill. How will we find out the value of goodwill? We will subtract capitalized value of business with the net tangible assets. See, that is 1,40,000 minus 1,15,000. I'll repeat, 1,40,000 minus 1,15,000. Okay, we got 25,000. See, I'll show it to you once again. 1,40,000 minus 1,15,000. So the goodwill value is 25,000. This is using net assets approach. Now we will check the second approach that we have, which is actual capital employed approach, or otherwise known as liabilities approach. In this case, the formula of goodwill is normal capital employed minus actual capital employed. Normal capital employed is nothing but your capitalized value of business. See, this formula doesn't change. The formula for capitalized value of business is FMP into 100 divided by NRR, and in this case as well, the formula is FMP into 100 divided by NRR. So it doesn't change at all. We have already calculated FMP. Even there, you will have to use the same technique. This technique doesn't change. Calculation of future maintainable profits does not change. It remains the same. So I am going to take the same value of 1,40,000 here. Let's do this here. 1,40,000. Or shall we take the FMP and calculate? Let us take the FMP. FMP is 14,000 into 100 divided by NRR is 10%. So we get 1,40,000. See this here. FMP is 14,000. So we have taken the same thing. Here you will be able to understand it. See, 14,000 into 100 divided by 10. So we got normal capital employed. Normally, a person would have to invest 1,40,000 in order to earn a profit of 40,000. This is what it means. Now we will find out the actual capital that is employed by this business. How will we find that out? We are going to take the shareholders fund and we are going to subtract goodwill from it. So AC is equals to shareholders fund. Shareholders fund comprises of share capital and reserves and surplus. In this case, so 1 lakh rupees of share capital plus 20,000 of reserves and surplus. I have taken both. Now we have to subtract goodwill from it. The value of goodwill is given here under non-current assets under the head intangible fixed assets, which is 5,000. So I'll subtract 5,000 from it. I will get actual capital employed. The actual capital that is employed is 1,15,000 rupees. The value of goodwill is NCE minus ACE. NCE stands for normal capital employed. That is how much capital do you need normally in the industry if you want to earn a profit of 14,000. And then you will compare it to the actual capital that is employed by the business. This business has employed capital of 1,15,000 rupees only, whereas any other company would normally have to invest 1,40,000. Why they are supposed to invest this less? This difference has arisen because of the value of goodwill that the company has in the market. So the value that they carry is, I'm sorry guys, the value of the goodwill for this business is 25,000. Okay, they have to invest less capital when compared to others because of goodwill. This is the meaning of this. Okay. I hope you guys have understood both the approaches of calculating goodwill using the capitalization approach, that is capitalization of average profit approach. In the next class, we are going to start with super profits. I will not be explaining theory in this lecture. We will start a super profits theory as well as problems from the next lecture. Okay. Thank you guys.